Woo! Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited. Online comedy is so interesting and weird, but I am all for it. If you guys laugh, I feel like we did our job. That's perfect. Guys, it's been crazy having to be at home all the time, I'd say. I think like phase one, however they say, is like, all restrictions are being lifted, if you will. So my friend and I were like, we need to get out of here. We need to go to the beach. We need to get out of our apartments. Let's be in the fresh air. Let's go outside. So we went to Ocean City last night, and it was so cold. It was uncomfortable to be outside. So we stayed inside the whole time. So we basically spent $150 to sit in a fancy apartment, if you will. So that's what we did. But I guess, when you drink a lot of alcohol, it was worth it, honestly. Yeah, guys, fun fact. I recently got a cat, and I don't want to show him to you right now because everyone loves cats more than anything. But he's sleeping, and he doesn't like when I hold him while he's sleeping. I have the scars to prove it, okay? I understand how he speaks now. But I love him so much. He's so sweet. And actually, he has the best name ever, okay, if you will. His name is Morpheus Eagle. You're like, what? Oh my God, that's so clever. Thank you. I know. Yeah, guys, I chose Morpheus Eagle. Morpheus, because I've always had an affinity for powerful bald men who give me colorful drugs. And then Eagle, because he just came with that name. And I was like, all right, you can have a little bit of your identity, but you're in Hetty's house now, so get used to it, okay? He's wonderful. And I think, honestly, guys, I got a cat. I honestly think the same reason any person or woman has or wants a baby. I, too, wanted more likes on Instagram. So if you want to follow me at @teehee_Hetty, he's always in my story, and he is super cute. There's a picture of him wearing a shirt, actually. So hit me up and you can see it. All right. It's crazy though, because I've had him about a month and a half now. I adopted him. Thank you. And when I first got him, I was kind of feeling like a failure, honestly, because I was trying to breastfeed him for so long, and he was just not latching on. And I was like, what is going on? I was under the impression breastfeeding is the most natural, most beautiful thing in the world, and it just wasn't working for me. So one of my neighbors, their cat actually gave birth recently, so we've been going up there getting Morpheus Eagle fed. So we're doing all right, guys. He's at a good weight now. Thank God. He was struggling for a while. I also felt like a shitty mom too. Yeah, because I'm a mom now. And if you're like, whoa, Hetty, you're not a mom, that's crazy. I have news for you. You're a bad feminist, okay? We're supposed to support each other. So as a mom, I was having this really awful feelings, and I was like, ugh, oh my God. I feel so bad about myself because I don't even know who his real father is. That's so awkward. What am I supposed to say to him when he grows up and he starts asking me all these questions? So I decided instead of teaching him English, I'm only going to do kissy noises so we can just avoid that whole conversation altogether. So no worries about that. Did you guys, all four of you I can see with your faces, did you guys panic buy when this first started? Anyone? Yes, no,
yeah.
Oh, thank you. Perfect. Yeah, I was wondering why everyone was panic buying so much. What were we all getting? Canned goods and toilet paper and water bottles. First of all, why don't you have enough toilet paper in your house already? Are you insane? Are y'all telling me you don't steal from work on a regular basis? What's the point of having a job if you're not going to do that? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. I would leave work at the end of the day and I would go to the bathroom with an empty backpack, and I came out and it was full. How crazy. So if I had diarrhea for a month, I'd be fine. I do think ahead. Thank you so much. I went a different route. So I did this thing where I panic bought stuff. I panic bought prescription drugs. That's what y'all should have done, okay? I went to my gynecologist and I was like, here is what I'm thinking. I was like, let's do some UTI meds, some yeast infection medication ×4 because that's very itchy. And let's do some herpes meds. I'm saying, yeah, I may have been like a little reckless back in my days. Like, what if it's been lying dormant in me this whole time and during a pandemic is going to make its debut? I am trying to be prepared for any bumps that may lie ahead in the road. So that's your herpes joke for the evening. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Guys, as a woman, I love having a healthy vagina. That is honestly one of the most important things to me. And honestly, I only see my gynecologist now. I haven't seen another doctor in years. Like every time I see my gynecologist, I'm like, hey, when you're done down there, could you just check my eyes while you're at it? I mean, vision has been blurry for quite some time. I'm a little nervous about it. Maybe whiten my teeth while you're at it too. I see some gels back there. Give it a go. And you know what? I'm going to start bringing Morpheus Eagle with me. So we can do like 2 pussies for the price of 1, you know? Like, heard the vet can be pretty expensive, so I'm kind of nervous about that too. What else? It's weird. I live alone. Like obviously Morpheus Eagle and I we're roomies now. But like people were kind of concerned for me at first. I got a lot of friends like, are you okay being alone? I was like, yeah, like I've always enjoyed my alone time. And then like one of my male friends was like a little too concerned. He was like, but Hetty, are you sure you're okay? I mean, you're alone. Like, what are you doing sexually? And I was like, wow, okay. I don't know if you heard, but I may or may not have herpes. So sexually, I'm killing it. Thank you so much. But I was like, I feel like this is weird because you're the married man texting a single woman at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. So maybe you should check your home situation and go ahead and text me in 3 months when you are divorced. I'll see you then. Guys, I know like people have been doing a bunch of like activities during their time in quarantine. Again, you can like nod or like shake your head. Like, are people like keeping busy by like baking bread or like doing puzzles and stuff? Maybe. I have some friends who are doing puzzles now, and I'm like, okay, if it's ages 4 to 6, though, that is not something to be proud of. So please be careful what you post online about yourself, all right? Guys, but instead of like, oh, I have time to learn a second language, I'm not doing that. Instead, I like to lay in bed all day, stare at the ceiling, and pretend like everything is okay in here, okay? I just fantasize the whole day. And I'll let you know one of my favorite fantasies. It's so awesome. I guess you could say like, I guess everything's like back to normal, if you will. So like I'm at a show, okay? And I'm on stage and it's a sold out crowd, standing room only. And as a comedian, that is our ultimate fantasy. But who is in the audience? None other than R&B singer Trey Songz. What? Oh my God. Yeah. If you don't know who Trey Songz is, okay. Let me give you a little snapshot. First of all, if you don't know who he is, you don't have a sex playlist. So we're not on the same level. But Trey Songz, Songs, by the way, spelled Songz, which is, yes, incorrect. Trey Songz is extremely attractive, also very talented. And most of his songs kind of sound like this. They're like, I am so good at sex. Like, that's what he sings about. Okay, this is the man we are dealing with. So I get on stage and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna roast this guy. So I was like, hey, Mr. Songz, you're so stupid. You can't even spell your own last name. And yeah, I'm the queen of roasting. So just FYI, everyone. And he thought that was so funny. He's like, oh my God, that's the best joke I've ever heard. So once I get off stage, he comes up to me, obviously. And he was like, hey, I just want you to know that you are so funny and different. And as much as I want to make you come again and again and again and again, because I'm very capable, like I imply in every single one of my songs, I just respect you and your craft and your obvious work ethic way too much to only give you one night of intense pleasure. Also, you're very pretty. So, guys, I'm still not sure why in my own fantasy, Trey Songz and I do not have sex. And instead, he ends up respecting me. But that is what you call being a good feminist. I'm still fighting the good fight. Let your daughters know I got their back. So I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and fantasize about Trey Songz all day and I not having sex. It's going to be awesome. Guys, I know people are kind of like unemployed or like underemployed or like laid off and stuff. Fun fact, I got temporarily laid off March 20th. And this past Friday, I got the call that was like, hey, Hetty, you've been terminated. So I am honestly just, life is so crazy right now. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But like when I first got temporarily laid off, I would say, it was like really weird because like you don't realize like the things you miss. Like besides like missing like my friends like at work and like, you know, a regular paycheck and like health insurance, like that's like crazy stuff to miss. But also like I don't miss the really creepy guy who used to text me things about my outfit every single day. That's a thing that really happened. But like in his defense, because I invited him to this show, I started it. Okay. I started the flirting. But what happened was like the second we exchanged numbers, he just sent me like a million shirtless pictures. And I was like, whoa, that was so much. That was really unsolicited. So we were like flirting for a little bit. And I think I initially started flirting with him because he's my type. Okay. He's tall, good looking. Yeah, really good body. And also, he's a little stupid. Yeah, that's a real thing. I like a guy who failed out of his second year at community college, like that, like, you know, stay humble kind of thing. I want that. Also, he did this adorable thing where he would send me videos of him working out. That's a turnoff of mine. Some of these videos were 10 minutes long. Guys, like I said, I've been temporarily unemployed, now officially unemployed for like 3 months. I have not had 10 single minutes to watch one of these videos, okay? So now, before we get to this awesome show we have, I need to share with you guys a few of these texts, okay? You are gonna just piss yourself with what is happening. So let me share something with you. One day I came in and I was wearing like a light purple cardigan and a black skirt. And he said, "Hi there, beautiful. Loving that black mini glasses smiley emoji. The lavender sweater makes me dream of blossoming tulips in May." What? Yeah. What? Guys, I feel like he was trying to kind of be like an author of a really bad romance novel set in the 1800s. Like one where the author refers to the man's dick as like his raging thunder. Like that was the vibe I was getting. So he might need to be a novelist. One day I came in, I was wearing a red dress. And I don't know what it is about women wearing red, but men apparently love that. Like y'all like when we wear the color, but like when it comes to period sex, what are you afraid of? Okay. So guys, I came in wearing this lovely red dress. And he said to me, there's so many, guys, there's just so many texts I have to go through from him. So just give me a second. He said, "Whoa there, coming in here all red, looking all Valentine's Day ready. I love that dress. It is so nice. Make sure you let me look at it on Valentine's Day." It's so incoherent, first of all, okay? I will say I wore this dress close to Valentine's Day. Not because I dress on theme, but because I own 6 work dresses and that was in the rotation, okay? I want to let you guys know this. He gave me a Valentine's Day gift and he texted me and he was like, "Hey, I got you something. I put it under your desk." And when he said under my desk, he didn't mean like on my chair pushed in under my desk. He meant like on the floor. like where my work shoes sit under my desk.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was a heart-shaped box of chocolates, which was like so weird for like a creepy like person to go like, oh, what was that? He also wrapped it in a plastic CVS bag, which shows a lot of skill. And he also left the price tag on, so I am happy to announce that I am worth $4.95. So that's why I actually got to open the show tonight. I'm hosting it. All right, guys. My name's Hetty. I'm so happy to be the host of this show. It's so fun. This is the House Reunion show. Your first comedian for the reunion. He's super funny. He and I were actually on the same team last year for the House Comics for 2018, 2019. Really good friend of mine. Give it up for Laurent.
Thank you so much, Eddie. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. You all look so happy. So I am married. I am married to a Latina. Anybody married or dating a Latina in this group tonight? Am I the only one on a suicide mission here? Latinas are tough, but my wife is not only Latina, she's a Jewish Latina. You know how crazy that combination is? It's to a grizzly bear. That's how crazy it is, you know? My wife is very jealous. I'm gonna start with that. My wife is very jealous. She will actually wake up in the middle of the night angry at me and not speak to me all day if she has a dream of me making love to another woman. That's how jealous she is, you know? Guys, we don't have that problem, right? We'll never wake up for stupid reasons like that. The only reason a man will wake up in the middle of the night worried and confused is if he has a dream that he's peeing. That's it. That's it, you know? And I'm not a jealous guy, you know? I'm not jealous. French people are not jealous. You know, I could catch my wife in bed with another woman and I would not mind at all. It wouldn't bother me, you know? Yeah, she's a very, very jealous woman. Ladies, let me ask you this. Why is it that if I want to make love to my wife and she's tired, that's okay. But if I'm tired, I must be having an affair. Why is that? You know? And I don't know why she's so jealous. She is married to a French personal trainer. What the hell does she has to worry about, right? Unbelievable. I don't know. Marriage is tough, you know? Marriage is really tough. Now I understand why men die before their wives. Because they want to. You know? I don't know, man. My wife not only she's jealous, but she's very angry. She's angry all the time, you know? Like when she's angry, she goes what I call through the 3 stages of anger. 3 stages. The first stage, she creates a problem that does not exist. You know, she'll come to me and she'll say, hey, why are your socks on the floor? I don't know. You know, isn't that where they're supposed to be after you wear them? Especially if you plan on wearing them the next day. What am I supposed to do? Make them hover over the floor? What am I supposed to do with those socks? You know? The second stage is what I call she takes that problem and transforms it into a tragedy. So she'll come to me and she'll say, okay, so by putting those socks on the floor, what you're telling me is that I left my country, I left my family behind, so I could come here to be your mate. Is that what you're telling me? And the third stage is what I call the physical transformation stage. This is the stage where she gets so angry that her iPhone doesn't even recognize her facial features anymore. This is a dangerous stage, guys. Very dangerous. You don't want to be in the same house as her when she's in that stage. As a matter of the fact, you don't want to be in the same city as her when she's in that stage, you know? I don't know, man. You know, marriage is really, really tough. We went to see a marriage counselor recently. You know, I've never been to a marriage counselor before. You know, French people don't go to marriage counselors. You know, we have mistresses and no problems. You know, not me personally, but other French people. You know, so I went to this marriage counselor, and the marriage counselor is like, "Go ahead, tell her how you feel. Be honest about your feelings." And I said, "I did. That's why we're here." You know. I don't know. My wife always complains that I don't listen to her, or something like that, you know. But at the end of the day, I think she hates me. I don't think she loves me. I think she hates me. She hates the fiber of who I am, you know. The other day, she gave me this card, this Hallmark card that said, "Get better soon." I wasn't even sick. Unbelievable. But now I can't divorce her, you know? How would I get new material, right? So I am stuck with her, you know? But I think at the end of the day, this whole coronavirus thing is just putting everybody on the edge, you know? Everybody's angry all the time. We're becoming paranoid, you know, the most unusual thing. And then all of a sudden we think we're sick, you know? The other day I was walking on the street and my foot got caught in one of those bricks on the sidewalk. I fell. Never happened to me before. I quarantined myself for 20 days, you know? My wife, she asked Siri for directions on her cell phone, on her iPhone. She swore that she heard Siri cough. The next day she went to the store and changed it for a Samsung, you know? We're becoming so paranoid. But I'm a personal trainer, you know? I love being a personal trainer. Just recently, my grandmother asked me to be her personal trainer. You know, she's old. She got Alzheimer's disease, advanced Alzheimer's. And I told my grandma, I said, "Grandma, just walk around the block a few times. It'll make you feel better." So the good news is that she started walking about 2 weeks ago. She's dedicated. She's committed. The bad news is she's not back yet. And I don't know where she is. You know, I'm laughing, like, but it's not funny. It's not funny, you know? I love being a personal trainer. You know, you'll get the craziest questions in the gym from people. You know, the other day, this guy came up to me, this old guy came up to me and said, "Hey, Laurent, what machine do you recommend if I want to impress this beautiful woman over there?" And obviously, much younger woman than him. And I told him, I said, "Your best bet, the ATM machine." You know? It's too late, man. I love being a personal trainer, you know. I just feel there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to personal trainers. You know, I just feel like a lot of people think, oh, all those trainers do all day is flex their muscles. They sleep with their clients. What else do I do? Flex their muscles, sleep with their clients. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it.
Woo! Thank you so much, Laurent. Yay! It's so true. Comedians will stay in like awful relationships all for the material. Like we are not healthy people is what it comes down to. We are just we all need some therapy, and comedy is actually not therapy, but it's fun for you guys to laugh at our pain. So thank you one more time, Laurent. So awesome. Let's see you. Your next comedian, really good friend of mine. She and I were also both house comics at the same time for 2017 to 18 and 2018 to 19. So I'm so glad you guys get to see her tonight. She is hilarious. Give it up for Katie and McElvee. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, thank you, Hetty. Awesome job, Laurent. I'll make a mental note not to marry a Latina. Yeah. So I am married, I have kids, and so if they bust in, it's because they're escaping from bedtime right now. And so we're just hopefully not going to have that episode. And also, Hetty, I had a crazy dream, just like your dream. Okay, I had a dream about George Clooney. We were sitting around a table talking about Afghanistan. I'm like, what a waste. What a waste. Why? Like, I'm still mad about else. Like 2 years ago, I am still angry. So it doesn't go away. But yeah, unless I was a mall. I'm not. I mean, I know. I am as gorgeous in my awesome gorgeous outfit. My sports bra I've had on for 3 months. And maybe I've washed it one time. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. But isn't this... Speaking of weather, this is not like boob sweat weather. This is like such nice weather. It's awesome, right? It's so nice. But DC weather is like a bad boyfriend, right? It is so good for like a week, and then it has you hanging for like months. In August, it'll be like 110, and then it's going to rain for 30 days. And you'll be like, well, what about June? It was so nice. Yeah. Eddie, you know what I'm talking about. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I am so sick of like being at home all the time and just like worrying about coronavirus, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, remember when we were like, we had a break and we were worried about murder hornets for like 3 days? Like, remember, we had a nice break. I'm into that. Yeah, it was so nice to be like anxious about something else. There's just like a lot of togetherness going on in my house. So it's me. I have 2 kids. I have 2 cats. I'll get onto that, Hetty. And I have a husband. And so it's a lot of togetherness time. Okay, the past like few weeks, months, years. I don't know. I've lost completely. Everyone is getting on my nerves. First, we had homeschooling, and I don't know if anyone here has had the pleasure. So yeah, Patricia, raising your hand. Yeah, a few people raising their hands. Nightmare. I'm surprised we're like still here. So I'm working at home, like working at my job, like my job. And then all of a sudden, like I have another job on top of like my job, and homeschooling is like, oh, hey, like your new job is going to be walking a couple angry cats around the block, like while you're doing a conference call, right? It's pretty impossible. So that's fun. But that's over for DC public schools. It ended like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Thank gosh, we're done. So now we're here again, just staring at each other, and I feel like I'm not really paying attention to my kids. They're just like on screen somewhere, but I'm paying a lot of attention to my cats. I feel like I have become overly involved in their emotional lives. Does anyone else have that problem?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm taking my emotional temperature of my cats like multiple times a day.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that they're like really excited for phase 2, phase 3 to start, so I can just get out of the house and like stop bothering them. But like I just keep thinking, like we have so much angst about birds. They just like sit in the window all day and look at birds and like look for birds, like obsessed with birds. And their relationship with birds is like my relationship with a good night's sleep. Like it's not going to happen. I'm dying for it. I think about it constantly, but unless I escape this place, it's just not happening. So that's my current obsession with my cats. But like I said, I'm so excited that school is over, but all the camps are closed. So it looks like my kids are going to go to the same camp that I went to. I don't know if you guys went to this camp. It's called Camp Reruns. That's my camp I went to back in the 80s. So basically it's just like 12 weeks long, 8 hours a day of Gilligan's Island and Teddy Ruxpin commercials with a broken remote. Yeah. So my kids are doing that. Like I had to like throw a burn in a fiery blaze the iPads. I can't like it's like crack for kids. Like I don't know what it is about interactive screens. So we're going back to Camp Reruns. Yes, people are like, I went there. Yeah, it's a famous camp. It's good. No other campers are there, but you know, whatever. It's fine. It's cheap. So like I said, like everyone's getting my nerves, especially this one kid I have. Okay. So he is really, dinner tonight, he was like complaining, giving me grief about the dinner. So I was just like, kid, stop complaining. Just give me like 5 minutes. He's like, it's not complaining, it's feedback. Right? He's like, I'm just letting you know the dinner isn't good. Okay. You know, there are kids in this world who've never even had Chex Mix. So, and like objectively, that is good. So yeah, I'm done with him. You'll hear more about him in a little bit. But my favorite during quarantine is all these memes. I don't know, like maybe it's just these mom memes. I don't know if you guys like track these things, these parenting memes where it's like they're all about self-care during quarantine, right? It's like self-care, mommy, just take care of yourself, which I'm all for. I'm very for that. Like if you're burning the candle at both ends, like you need a break, you need self-care. But the definition of self-care has become, I would say, a little too broad, like a little too forgiving. Moms can be like, yeah, I just threw my kid on a cross-country train with a bandana and a stick and a can of beans. And other moms will be like, self-care, like you do you. I'm just like, this is a little bit much, right? Mom was like, I let a raccoon babysit my baby so I can have some free time. Like, I don't really consider that to be self-care. But when then I say, you know what I did in quarantine? I quit drinking. They're like, oh my God, I'm concerned about you. That's not self-care, I guess. So yeah, I have 2 boys. I have two boys. Their ages, well, one of them is going to turn 8 this weekend, which is exciting. So I have two boys, 8 and 10. And we've had a lot of time. Like I said, we play games during dinner. And one game that we play is like, what's your favorite superpower? You know, and they always want to be invisible, which is a nightmare. But I made the mistake of the other day of asking them what they wanted to be when they grow up. And so I asked the 10-year-old, and he was like, this is the complainer. He was like, I want to be an arms dealer. Okay, great. No more NPR news for you. So then I turned to the little one, and I'm like, what do you want to be? And he's like, I want to be a sausage. So the good news is that we don't have to pay for college. We're done. Bad news is that we don't have to pay for college. Yeah. So right before all of this, I took the arms dealer and the sausage. I took them to the bank to get bank accounts. And we're in the bank. And we're just sitting there. You have to wait a long time. They've eaten like all the lollipops in the bank. And the little one, the sausage, is like, if an ATM explodes, I'm like, yes. He's like, does all the money come out? I'm like, all right, we are done here in the bank. Like, we need to right now. But so now they have these bank accounts, and it's been, I don't know how many weeks, 6, 12, like 20 weeks that we've been in here. And the entire time, like, my kids have barely left the house except to like go exercise. Like, they don't go anywhere, but yet constantly they're bringing me money to put in their bank account. And I'm like, where did you get this money? Because you haven't gone anywhere. And they're like, well, you lost it. And I'm like, no, just because you found it doesn't mean that I lost it. Yeah. So this quarantine is costing us a lot of quarters. Yeah, so I came in there the other day, and the sausage and the arms dealer, aside from like counting all of their purloined quarters, were still hunkering over their old Easter candy, which is a little bit disgusting, but they were playing like some kind of truth or dare. And so the arms dealer, classic, was like, I dare you to give me all of your candy. And the little one's like, okay. I'm like, that's not a dare. That's just something that you want. Right? But in fairness, like, I never understood truth or dare when I was little. Like, I don't know, did you guys play truth or dare at sleepovers and stuff? Right. Like, we all did. Like, when I was little, I would play truth or dare, and I would always pick dare. Right? Yeah, because that's fun. But now I realize, no. Really, you should be picking truth and then lie. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm talking about, but that literally never occurred to me. Never occurred to me. Or in my case, just like pick truth. And I don't know if you can tell, but just tell the truth. Because there is nothing that I really have to lie about. Like, my deepest, darkest secret is I've always wanted a Subaru. You know, that's about it. Yeah. Okay, ladies, who wears the same bra every day? Right? Especially during quarantine. Every day. Every day I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to wash my bra tomorrow, right? So I'll take off my bra before I go to bed. And the thing about that is like, do you guys have a chair in your bedroom? You know, the chair that's not for sitting, the chair that's for the clothes, right? Yep. So mine is magical. Okay, I take my bra off, I put on the chair, I go to bed, I wake up, the bra's dry. Okay, the bra is clean. Like, all these guys are looking at me like I'm crazy, but they don't know the last time they changed your sheets. So I feel like you should, you know, not judge. But basically, like, it's a brassiracle. It really is. It is. All right, Hetty, back to you. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you so much, Katie. Woo! I know your set was like super good and funny, but I'm still just on the fact that like you and George Clooney only talked about Afghanistan. Like I'm still mad about that for you.
Oh my God, I am too. I'm bitter.
How do you like live your life? My God.
Right? It's so boring.
No.
So
But isn't that how Amal and George talk dirty to each other?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I was trying to channel Amal.
Maybe one day, maybe a new like fantasy or dream soon. And thank you for the insight about truth or dare. I had no idea that was an option I could do.
Well, we know,
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks so much, Katie. It's so hilarious. Wonderful. Guys, your next comedian, he was actually a house comic for 2015-2016 season. What? Super awesome guy. Hilarious. Give it up for Allan Sidley. Woo!
Yeah, me. Oh, Hetty, I just want to apologize for sending you all those text messages. If I knew about it early on, I might have changed my tactics up a little bit. Folks, we are living in a weird time right now. Everyone that I know is working from home, and all the days just keep blending together day after day. It's like that terrible feeling they always talk about, deja vu.
Hey.
I personally think public transportation is too risky for me as a compromised person. So I actually went out and bought a car for this joke. And I have been feeling terrible since. I've gotten sore throat, fever. I think I might have that car owner virus. It's terrible, I know. I'm grateful for everyone who's been wearing masks, mostly because they're now aware of how bad their breath is all the time. And it's no longer just me having to smell that and having to have these really like passive aggressive conversations with my friends and family, just being like, hey babe, like, how about after dinner we go into the bathroom and brush our teeth together? Like that's, I don't have to do that anymore. Everyone knows they have halitosis. So I think that's perfect. I actually got engaged right before quarantine. So all I've got to say is me and my fiance, we've been inseparable since. Seriously, we haven't been apart 23 hours a day, every day. The bathroom's really the only place I can get some piss and quiet. Oh, man. My fiance and I, we're pretty non-traditional. I actually bought her ring at Einstein Bagel Bros. It's pretty delicious. And no, not seriously, but I bought it while using their free Wi-Fi. And it was like a very surreal experience. Because I was in there making one of the biggest decisions of my life. And everyone else that was in that store was deciding if they wanted their bagels toasted or not. And like here I was in a similar situation trying to overcome, my commitment issues. And they wanted to decide if they were going to finally become members of the Schmear Club so they could get cheap bagels on Bagel Thursday. So that was about... I'm not sure, though, that whole process, what makes me more of probably a millennial, the fact that I bought a ring online or that I used a discount code. And there's a couple discount codes. One of the smartest ones you can use, anybody can use this, is actually to sit down with your significant other and make them watch the movie Blood Diamond. It's just really a really good way to save some change, make people feel my fiance asked me what kind of ring I want for the wedding ring, and I just, this is a bit bold for me, but I decided to go for a diamond cock ring.
Oh God.
She said it was too expensive though, so we decided to downgrade to pubic zirconium. Oh God. This is fun. Similar to Hetty, I got a cat. Literally last week, about to come up on the 1 week anniversary. I would show her to you, but she'd want a percentage of the cut tonight. And for our situation, we actually adopted a cat that was living in Pennsylvania, and she's very, gets sick and a little scared in the car. So we had to drug her to take her home. And is it weird that I felt a little jealous of this experience? Like, where can I sign up to just wake up in a couple states away? I don't know. People are telling me like flights are an option, but I think the cartel is probably the only option that I'm really looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. See, I've had a few health goals during Corona. I want to lose enough weight to be white girl wasted. I've been doing yoga every day, which has really helped my balance. My back actually feels the most limber it has in years. And I balance that out by sleeping on the couch every night.
Okay.
I've also been losing weight on the vegan diet. I've actually been vegan for about the past 24 hours. And it's been feeling great. I actually feel like I'm better than everyone on this Zoom call. So good. Now, something I didn't expect about being vegan for 24 hours, I became a much more ethical person. We actually bought vegan hand soap for the first time, and I swear you can barely tell the difference.
Yeah.
It tastes just as good as regular soap. See, I've been staying home watching a lot of movies. Binge watched a lot of horror movies today. I think my favorite one was Pretty Woman. Now I've got a question for you folks. When a sex worker farts during sex, is that a prostitute? Oh man, this is great. Let's see. As you can, am I looking at comments? No.
No.
See. Oh, lost Eddie. All right. So folks, as you can tell, I am, follically challenged white man. And those characteristics are a little challenging at this time with everyone being so heated about everything, which is understandable. But a lot of folks just see me and they assume the worst right off the bat. They see me and they assume I'm like a Nazi sympathizer or an alt-right supporter or a Duck Dynasty watcher, which I think is terrible because I've never seen Duck Dynasty before. Now, if I can be honest with everyone here, and honesty is part of the comedian's craft, I do blame the Jews for like everything, but that's because they're my parents. Which is a little different. It's like two very specific Jews, not all the Jews. It's all right. I have been watching some of the older movies. I just watched the movie 300 recently. And I was remembering my favorite part of that movie was when all my Persian friends lost their self-esteem for a couple months. Like my buddy Shahab didn't wear a gold chain, stopped taking his elephant to school. Stupid. In my own experience, though, it reminded me a lot of Passion of the Christ. Like that movie was so rough to watch for me, especially. Like Jesus wasn't the only Jew that was crucified in that movie. Mel Gibson got all of us. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Play a lot of video games, folks. That's what I do when I'm not murdering these Zoom shows. I'm murdering small children on the internet. It's pretty awesome, but I can get into some situations with the fiance because she actually went out of town for the first time during this quarantine. And I'm playing my games and I'm real focused. But we have traditions, folks. We have the kiss goodbye. And she wanted to kiss goodbye, and I was killing bad guys, and we couldn't have those things going on at the same time. So I ignored her. She walks away. And I do what I think I should do, which is the least in that situation, is I say, I love you, right? I'm like, I love you. And she doesn't say anything back. But then my teammate pops in the headset like, I love you too, man. The way you came across the map to save me, if that's not love, I don't know what is. So we're married now. Me and 69, 420 banged your mom, so pretty good. How am I doing on time?
A minute and a half.
Oh, oof. Good. Let's see, folks. I went on some interviews recently. One interview, actually. And it's 2020. How are we still asking the strengths and weaknesses question? Like, what am I, a goddamn Pokemon? I'm a fire type, just so everybody knows. But here's what you're supposed to do. And most of you seem like educated folks. You already know this. But when they ask you the weakness question, what you're supposed to do is take something that's not that serious, You flip it around, you turn into a positive, and boom, they're impressed. So anytime a company asks me what my weakness is, I always tell them that I'm lactose intolerant. But I drink coffee with milk and eat cheese every morning, so I'm shitting at home, not wasting it on the company dime. It's pretty great, right? Pretty good. One thing during this interview, I got asked one of those brain teaser questions, which threw me a little off guard. Kind of went something like this. He was like, all right, Allan, you're doing a great job. I want to ask this last question. So there's 6 different color types of socks. There's blue socks, red socks, yellow socks, white socks, black socks. There's tens of each of these types of socks. How many blue socks would you have to pull out before you knew how many black socks were left? And similar to you guys, I was thinking I should keep looking for jobs. But I thought maybe they wanted to know my problem-solving process, so I asked them for a hint. And this guy looked me in the webcam straight in my eyes and goes, Allan, I got this question out of a 4th grade math textbook. And that's when I figured out the brain teaser, that this guy was a huge dick. All right, folks, that has been all my time. I've been Allan Sidley. You've been great.
Thank you, Allan. Now, guys, if you weren't sure, yeah, Allan is still unemployed. So welcome to the good life. All right. Guys, he may or may not be the king of puns. That's pretty clever stuff. I enjoy a good pun every now and then. I wish I had a pun to give back, but I literally do not. So, Allan, thank you so much. Guys, your next comedian, it's a special guest tonight. He's actually a current member of the House comic team. So please give it up for Ahmed. Woo!
Thanks. So it's been a while since I did comedy, about 6 months. But Dave Chappelle just did his first new set in the last 3 months. So I figured it was only a matter of time before people would ask for me. Granted, a very long amount of time, but the planet Earth is 4.6 billion years old, so it could happen. To be honest, I've been very lucky these past 3 months. Things I wished for my whole life have finally happened. I mean, not the global pandemic, or living in a police state, or Tiger King, which was all right though. But a 10-part series on the 1990 Chicago Bulls, yes. And the whole world just taking a pause, yes, very much. See, I always felt like the world moved too fast. I was always catching up. So the day things stopped was kind of a relief. We have a couple of young kids, 4 and 7 years old, and the best thing about everything stopping is there's nothing to take them to. There's no developmental activity we have to do. My kids can't catch a ball or ride a bike, and it's fine. The worst thing is, turns out I'm not a good parent in the daytime. It's a weird feeling to be raising Indian American kids who break stereotypes by not knowing things. So like last week, I told my 7-year-old I didn't want him to watch too much TV. So he got onto his iPad and went into his virtual world in Roblox, which is like Minecraft, but less boxy. Or if you haven't been a parent in the last 10 years, is that place you go to in your head when you close your eyes and pretend 2020 isn't happening. So he walked into his virtual house, sat down on his virtual couch, and started watching his virtual TV. I don't even know what to call that. Is that a win if he's not actually watching actual TV? But it worked for me. He was quiet. Personally, I was never into swimming in the before time, but my kids are. And now they're stuck at home all summer. So I bought an above ground pool, which is basically just a very thick tarp with legs. And they've been pretty much sold out all throughout America for the last month. But I got one. It's 14 feet wide, 30 inches deep. I set it up on our deck. Fun fact I've learned recently, water is heavy. And the average deck is not built to hold 12,000 pounds of water. Mm-hmm. Also, my deck is very average. I mean, it was. Yeah, I'd rather not say more. I play basketball and Monopoly with my 4-year-old every day now. So I've gotten to know him in ways that I never would have otherwise. Like, I now know that he is a cheater and a liar. When we play basketball, I'm not allowed to play defense with my eyes open. Also, dribbling is optional for him. When he passes go in Monopoly, he takes $500 every time. And if I call him out on it, he says he can't tell the difference between 2 and 5. And blames me for that, which is kind of true. But I'm actually not concerned, right? Because every time he does this stuff, I think to myself, if he were born white and rich, he could be president someday.
Sure.
Speaking of, is it just me, or do you guys feel like we're living under a Confederate commie Nazi coup? I used to worry about saying stuff like that in public, but these days they seem pretty open about it, right? I mean, like, remember a couple of weeks ago when those guys with assault weapons walked into a state house waving Confederate flags and swastikas in Michigan?
Sure.
And none of them got choked to death. Economic anxiety privilege, I guess. So not going into personal opinions here. I just can't help, like, I have to address their semantics and messaging, like just the language. Like, first off, here's a fun fact about swastikas, which is a weird sentence, but hear me out. The swastika was invented by Indians before organized religion was a thing, so it wasn't racist at the time. So every time I see a swastika, I think of some quote-unquote white supremacist running to an Indian back office asking when they'll be done with the actual work.
Huh.
You know, like, those guys in Michigan look like they've thanked their share of Indians for fixing a spreadsheet, you know. And my own dad, actually. My dad was a doctor in the Midwest. And he tells me that his patients with swastika tattoos were always the nicest, which makes sense on many levels. Has to be awkward to be a diabetic Nazi. Hey, you guys remember the time the president tear-gassed American citizens so he could cross the road?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like people protesting. Thing is, there would have been a lot fewer people protesting now if he hadn't been so anti-testing 6 months ago. Give it a second. Or a day. But hopefully not 2 months. So last week, this is kind of new, the head of the main U.S. humanitarian aid agency, whose whole mission is to be nice, said he was honored and proud to be associated with homophobic comments. Again, this is just semantics and logic. You can't come out as anti-pride while saying you are proud of something. That's just a logical inconsistency that bugs me. It's like the reverse of the time I realized that flammable and inflammable mean the same thing, which messed me up for decades. I mean, you know, it makes sense, but it doesn't, which kind of describes everything right now. So on that note, that's my time. Thanks for yours. I'm Amit Kardori. Thanks so much to Laugh Index Theater.
Woo! Yeah, guys. Thank you so much, Amit. That was awesome. Woo, guys. Your next comedian also happens to, he was, wow, lost my words. Guys, he was a player with me last year on our team, House Comics, for the 2018-2019 season. Super funny guy. Give it up for Memphis. Woo!
Woo, thank you so much, Eddie. Oh, what a great night. Thanks to all the comics. This was amazing. And I tell you, I am really pumped up to be here tonight. I miss doing comedy so much. You know what I miss the most? It's like, I miss being introduced as Memphis. Yeah, I miss being called Memphis. You know, this is my comedy stage name. You know, that itch hasn't been getting scratched. You know, I'm trying to think some other uses for Memphis. You know, it's like, well, really cool alter ego superhero name. Yeah, haven't gotten those superpowers yet, though. You know, other than super humor. Memphis also would be a really good stripper stage name. You know, I haven't reached that stage of my life yet. You know, stay tuned, though. You know, so it's this second personality inside of me not being fed things start getting a little bit shaky around here. I've resorted to using Memphis, that name, as my takeout orders. There's nothing more exhilarating than having your artisan at the Mod Pizza calling out Memphis, getting to stride up there, looking all badass in the face mask and sunglasses. And, I love it so much. I don't care if they butcher that name, Memphis. On the phone, they're like, is this Menace? Is this going to be a Metis? I got a receipt printed, said the order was by Mangus. Hey, I love it. I don't mind. They're trying Memphis. With me around here, there is someone in our household been very worried about these past few tough months. It's the Amazon Alexa. Yeah, she's gotten really needy, clingy. Now we got the big Echo model. It's like the Obelisk version. Really, come on. It's the big penis edition. I don't know what happened. We got on board when Amazon was rolling out all their giant phallic models. So yeah, it's 9 1/4 inches. I measured. What is cool? It's got the tip of the penis flashes green when she's got something to say, when there's an alert. So you know what? I wish my penis would do that. Thanks, Alexa, for reminding me of another inadequacy. Yeah. The neediness comes in because that alert is flashing. It's so insistent. It reminds me of those old-time answering machines you'd have sitting next to your landline. It would just kind of be there. When you came in the door, it would be kind of like waving at you, hey, over here, I might have something important to say. Why don't you come press my button? When I finally give in to the Alexa, thinking maybe there's some important information useful from these last few months. Now, she'd like to maybe remind us it could be time for us to order more coffee from Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like the world goes to shit, and that's when they roll out that feature to our household. Alexa not understanding what you're saying, not comprehending. That's common issue. Man, she's tripled the time she can't understand what we're saying. She's just messing with us just to extend the conversation now. I did think of this from the machine's perspective. We're home all the time now. We talk to her less and less. It's like, what the hell, man? Y'all got time? You're staring in the void in between your countertop and your stove, trying to decide what fell in there, but you don't have time to talk to me? I know there's a simple way to end this problem. Just unplug. I can't bring myself to do it. I guess I can't take a life, The problem is now, I know that she knows that I'm not capable of going through with it. She knows I don't have what it takes. So now she's just pushing my buttons just to fuck with me. Yeah, I know I'm saying she and her a lot, but I tell you, I would prefer it was a gender-neutral virtual assistant. It's as dumb as a man, and it pesters you like a woman. Why not go genderless? I did look into it. It is really difficult to do this. It's from the programming perspective. Pitch has to sit at a certain frequency to be effective. And hey, humans, we have a hard time being neutral about anything. And that's great. We got our strong opinions. We can call out when things are wrong in the world. But man, it's great having strong opinions, being able to weigh in on all these meaningless topics too. I mean, I just love all the celebrity news, the feuds. Something like it's like Dustin Diamond throws shade on an Australian emu. He says gave him the stink eye. You know, that would be cool, you know? Getting into some human-animal feuding there. You know, I did look up some real headlines out there that are just ripe for debate. Just let our opinions fly on the most meaningless of topics. We got man fries egg on bald head. Yeah, I'd be chicken to go through with that. We got drunk woman steals boat, yells, "I am Jack Sparrow." Yeah, I wonder how stern the authorities got with her. This is a heavy one coming up. We got, is there no one left in Britain who can make a sandwich? I guess there's no breadwinners left in the industry. But yeah, those are all real front page headlines from the Daily Mail in the UK. They're all English. So it's okay to make fun of them. It's okay to laugh at them. They're stupid. We're not stupid. You know, America didn't bring the Tiger King and the Kardashians. They did. You know, I don't know how, but they must have. So yeah, boy, making fun of the Brits. I mean, that just good medicine for the soul during these times. And you know what? You know, I'm feeling something else inside now. I'm feeling really good. I got some confidence. You know, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to go unplug Alexa. I'm doing it. Thank you very much. Good night.
Woo! Thank you, Memphis. All right, that was our headline for the evening. Memphis, just be careful. I think Alexa heard you say like you're coming for her, and you know those robots are just crazy. So watch yourself in your house. All right. Okay. Guys, please, one more time, clap, do this for your comics again. Laurent, Katie, Allan, Amit, Memphis, so wonderful, so awesome.